So I want you to imagine something really quick. I want you to imagine that when you were born with lenses covering your eyes, sort of like contact lenses. But these are invisible lenses, and you can't see them. No one else around you can see them. No one knows that you're wearing these lenses. But let's just say that these lenses were tinted red, okay? So when you grow up and you go through your life, you look at everything through this lens, and everything appears tinted red to you. But you've never seen life without the lenses, so everything is red, but you don't even know it's red. So when you look at snow, for example, which we all know is white, when you look at snow, you see the snow as red. But it appears that way to you, even though it's not actually red, but you're just seeing through the lens that makes it seem that way, right? And let's say that no one ever told you differently. Let's say that everyone else was looking through the same colored lenses, and so everyone just saw reality in that way, and everyone said, snow is red. And everyone just assumed that to be true, right? And this is sort of like an analogy for how we all live our lives, whether we know it or not. You see, every one of us has a mind that acts like a filter. So everything that I'm saying to you, everything that you're hearing coming out of my mouth, is being filtered through your own mind and through your own programming. And so you're going to interpret the words that I say in a very different way than someone else might. Everyone is going to hear differently. Everyone is going to interpret this differently. And the same thing goes for when you look at the world. When you look at the world, some people look at the world and they see corruption and they see lots of reasons to be sad and miserable. Other people look at the world and they think that the world is a beautiful place and there's lots of opportunities and lots of reasons to be hopeful. Everyone sees through a different lens. Everyone interprets reality in a different way. And this is so essential to understand, because if you ever want to break free from the cycles that create negative emotions and self-sabotaging thought patterns in your life, what you have to see is that perception, the way you see things, is just a lens, and it's not the way things actually are in reality. So you see like the snow, for example, again. The snow is actually white, but you look at it through your mind and you see the snow as red. So you think in your mind snow is red, even though it's not at all. But you can't know that it's not unless someone else tells you that, hey, it's actually not that way, right? So this is why we all need guides in our life. We all need teachers, mentors, role models, people who have a different perspective on life, people who see through a different lens, who can tell us, hey, maybe you could see life this way instead. And I found that this way of seeing things makes more sense. It's more true, it's more accurate, and it makes me feel a lot better, right? So this is the key, because perception, how we see things, is what creates how we feel. It's what creates how we behave in life, and it ultimately determines the results and outcomes we're going to get in life. So it's like the composite of all of our belief systems, all of our thoughts and feelings and beliefs and all of that combined create this filter or lens through which we see life. And that creates all of our habitual feelings, all of our habitual thought patterns, all of our habitual behaviors, etc. So this is why mind training is so important, because the only way to change your perception of reality is to train your mind to see differently. If you don't train your mind to see life differently, and you hold on to the same beliefs and the same perspectives, and you just are in this cycle, then nothing ever changes for you. And that's how probably 90% of the world lives. They stay in this cycle of believing their own thoughts and believing their perspective on reality is the only true way. It's the only, they think that how they see the world is how the world actually is, rather than understanding that it's the lens of the mind, the filter of the mind that we're looking through. So the world isn't really the way that we see it. It just appears that way because we're looking through the filter of our own thoughts and emotions. So this is incredibly important, and we talked in the last lesson about reprogramming the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is like the filter that we see through. So in our subconscious mind, it exists all of our suppressed feelings, emotions, all of our unconscious beliefs and paradigms and perspectives, everything that we've learned through our experiences in life and how we've interpreted reality, all of it has gone into programming the subconscious mind. And that subconscious mind produces all of our feelings, all of our thoughts, all of our perspectives, and it basically controls our conscious mind too, most of the time. So your thoughts that pop into your mind every day, all day long, those thoughts are coming from the subconscious programs. So that's why changing your life or changing yourself can feel so difficult, because the subconscious mind is producing these thoughts and feelings and perspectives out of its own programming, out of its own habits. So it's automatic. It doesn't care whether you like the thoughts and feelings that are coming up or not. Your subconscious mind just does it automatically because your mind is programmed to see life in that way. So it doesn't care if you want happiness, it just keeps producing unhappiness, you know? It's impersonal. It's not really about you. It doesn't say anything about you. Your negative thoughts and emotions are not about you. It's just a habit. It's just a habitual way of seeing the world. It's just the lens that you see life through. But what if you could change that lens? What if you could see through a totally different lens? What if you could change the lens or the filter from a red filter to a blue filter? And now you see life totally differently. Before you looked at life and you felt sad, now you look at life and you feel incredibly grateful because you're looking through a different lens. Your whole mind, your whole perception of life shifts and changes, and as your mind changes, your whole life changes.